What's going on, my PT peeps and my Game of Thrones fans? One Eye Bride back to talk about Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 4, a little bit of Episode 803, what may happen in the future episodes, spoiler warning for Game of Thrones as a whole. If you're worried about spoilers, please stop watching as I don't ruin anything for you. Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 4, pretty interesting. It was a great episode. It's kind of what I come to know about Game of Thrones. It's kind of back on course. Season 8, Episode 3, the Battle of Winterfell was last episode. This is the aftermath of that battle at Winterfell. They were burning the bodies, and it was very sad to see Jorah, Lyanna, Ed, Beric, and really everybody that they lost. Daenerys lost a lot of people on her side, and without Daenerys and her dragons, they definitely don't win that battle, but everybody coming together is really what they needed. But it's interesting that the two sides are clearly divided. They won the battle, but where does it go from here? It was an interesting story going forward because Daenerys, her side, Jon, the Wildlings, Sansa, Arya, the Starks, the North, and then, oh yeah, the Greyjoys, King's Landing, the Lannisters, the Mountain. Oh man, it's like so much is still going on in the final 3 episodes. Like I said before, I like Jon's speech about honoring them, but it's going to be very interesting next week's episode. One, because it's the battle at King's Landing. Should be awesome, should be exciting. I know we're going to lose more people for sure. And luckily, Jon was not riding Rhaegal because that would have been pretty terrible and he probably would have died. So luckily he was on horseback riding to King's Landing. Hopefully more people show up because they're going to need it. Dany is an outsider in the north, and that was clearly evident here. As you could see, this group, everyone's coming to Jon's side. They see Jon one way, Dany another way, and Jon is like the man in the north, and Dany is an outsider. So she could do nothing right, even though her dragons are pretty important. I love the part with Gendry and Arya, and Gendry was like, "Come be my lady," and Arya's like, "Sorry, I'm not a lady," and I'm excited to see what happens with her and the Hound going forward. But Dany's world is not going so right with Jon and her claim to the Iron Throne. She kind of knows the information. So does Varys. So does Tyrion. So does Arya. So does Bran. So does Sam. So does so many people. It's not looking good for Dany to take over the Iron Throne. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the final 2 episodes, but I'm excited to find out. And this is Game of Thrones. There is no linear path. We got twists and turns, ups and downs all over the place. I'm excited to see how it unfolds. After episode 803, I was like, what are they going to do? And after this episode, I'm like, what are they going to do? We lost. Rhaegal sucks so bad. That was a big loss, along with Miss Sunday, and I can't believe that happened just like that. And I have to say, this episode was great. All the episodes have been good, if not great, and definitely this episode felt more like a Game of Thrones episode. We had the big battle last episode, which was good. At least we don't have to worry about the darkness and not seeing anything with the brightness in this episode. Everything was good. We don't have to worry about that here. But losing Rhaegal sucks. That really hurts Daenerys' side, and I'm Team Dany. Well, I'm Team Jon and Team Dany. I'm not on Cersei's side by any means, but is anybody rooting for Cersei to win? I mean, that can't happen, right? But we still got Drogon, we still got Dany, the Unsullied, some Dothraki, and hopefully somebody shows up to help Dany and Jon and everybody there. Maybe Sansa brings the Knights of the Vale, maybe the Second Sons, maybe the Wildlings, maybe somebody. But Sansa spilled the beans and told everybody about Jon being a Targaryen when you're not supposed to, Sansa. What's the point of that? You ruined it. But I really hope Tormund comes around and saves the day. That'd be pretty awesome. The final goodbye really wasn't much of a goodbye with Ghost. Now that we lost Rhaegal, can Ghost and maybe Nymeria and somebody else show up at King's Landing? That would be badass, and I hope happens in episode 805 next week. But I have to admit, when Euron Greyjoy and the Scorpions blew out the ships and just took out Rhaegal with ease, that's not looking good. And they got those Scorpions all along the walls, all along there, to go against Drogon. And that's the last dragon. Rhaegal's gone, we got Drogon left, and we kind of knew something was going to happen with that, right? I don't think any of the dragons survive, and we only have one left. So what's going to happen there? And who's going to win the big battle next week and over the final 2 episodes? Euron, I just don't like that guy. I mean, it's just not a character that you're supposed to like, I guess. And maybe people like him. But I don't, even though he's a good fighter and he's a smart person. He's got the tools to succeed. And I don't know if Cersei's actually pregnant. Well, maybe she is, and it's actually Jaime's baby, not Euron's. But we'll see what happens with Euron and the Mountain and Cersei. I hope the people from Dorne show up. And also, I hope Yara is there to help fight alongside Dany. But I can't wait for next week. I mean, it just happened. Episode 804 just aired, about an hour or so ago. And I'm excited for next week. And that's great. And that's what we want. But who wins? Cersei or Dany? And does Arya take these people out with the help of the Hound? Cersei, Serlan Payne, and the Mountain. I can't wait to find out. And I think it's got to happen, right? And does the prophecy come true? Does the younger brother take out Cersei? And to me, that's Jaime, right? Because I doubt that Tyrion's going to be able to get close enough to Cersei. But I think Jaime was going to Cersei at the end of episode 804. He's going to King's Landing for sure. But what will he do? What will happen with Tyrion and Jaime and Cersei and the crossbow? I thought it was great that we finally had the interaction with Bronn and Jaime and Tyrion all together. I'm glad Bronn did not kill either of them because that would be terrible. And I hope that he doesn't kill either of them. But what do you think happens? This is Game of Thrones. It's not going to be a happy ending, right? But I hope Bronn isn't the one that's responsible for killing Tyrion or Jaime. As for Jon, when's he going to get to King's Landing? He was on horseback and he was going to be there when he gets there. But ultimately, what happens with Jon? Well, Aegon Targaryen and Dany. Is it going to be a battle between them two? Is Jon going to be forced in a terrible situation because Dany becomes the Mad Queen? Also, is it smart that everybody knows that Jon is the rightful heir to the throne? Why did Sansa have to say anything? I don't think Arya is going to tell anybody, but they made a big point of that. So that's got to come back around again and again in the final 2 episodes, right? I would assume Dany and Jon both survive. Cersei gets taken out. And it's going to come up about Jon's lineage being a Targaryen. But I would assume that the Hound fights the Mountain and they both die. Or the Hound gets severely wounded like before and they made reference to that. So maybe that happens again. But what happens with Arya, we just don't know. And can Jaime take out Cersei if he has to? If that's the way to end all of this, is it going to happen? Can he actually do it? As for Missandei, that was sad. That just sucked. Because Missandei hasn't hurt anybody. She was just on the boat and got captured, and then they pulled a Ned Stark, and she was taken out. That sucks, but hopefully Grey Worm gets the last laugh, and he takes out the executioner, which was the Mountain. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm excited for next week, that's for sure. We still got a lot of characters left, and a lot of big characters left. We only have 2 episodes left, 805, and then the series finale, 806. Who survives out of all these people? I would assume the people that are still at Winterfell will be fine. But we lost Theon, we lost Jorah, we lost Missandei, but everybody left here is still alive. Will we lose both of these characters? I would think so. I think they both wound each other. Well, the Hound's got to win, right? But maybe it just takes it all out of him to kill the Mountain, and that's got to be his unfinished business, right? But can't wait to find out. As for Bronn and Jaime and Tyrion and Cersei, I hope Bronn turns the table and does something heroic and epic against Cersei and the Lannisters. That's gotta happen, right? Well, he could be playing both sides, and I wonder if he survives and gets his castle. But what do you think happens with Dany and Jon? Well, Dany and Aegon. I think they both survive. I think Drogon is killed, and I think Dany turns into the Mad Queen and tries to blow up King's Landing and all the people, and Jon is forced to kill her. But that's kind of a theory that's been going around for a while, and I can't wait to see what happens. I loved episode 804. I thought it was the right path for the final 2 episodes of 805 and 806. I can't believe it. We only got 2 episodes left. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Did you like it? Love it? What'd you like about episode 804? And what do you think's going to happen in the final 2 episodes of Game of Thrones? Like I said, guys, please hit that subscribe button and become a valued member of our PT channel family. We have a goal of 100,000 subscribers. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories. R.I.P. Miss Sunday. You will be missed, that's for sure. You're gone, but not forgotten. Dracarys.